Here are 10 things you must do if you're below 30 and you want to live your 40s, your 50s, and your 30s as a multi-millionaire and make a lot of money. I'm 25 now and I've made over 1 billion in sales, and I can tell you that these 10 things I'm mentioning are things that you must do if you're ever going to get rich in life 100%. Now, number one, make sure you choose the right partners and avoid giving birth out of wedlock. This is super, super important. I've seen a lot of young people out there who have ruined their lives just simply because they could not control themselves, or just simply because they decided to have a partner that totally messed up their life and destroyed their life totally 100%. Now, when you're dealing with your partners and when you're dealing with the ladies specifically, or even the ladies when you're dealing with your men, you have to understand that once you are in those kind of relationships, it's very, very hard for you to think logically anymore. So most of your decisions will be 100% based on emotions, which means that you're not doing a lot of analysis, you're not doing a lot of calculations, and all these things together can affect how you make your decisions, and in turn can affect who you become in the future. I see a lot of people who are below 20, below 22, especially men, and they go ahead and they are worried about their girlfriends and all that. They're having a lot of children everywhere. The thing is, children are beautiful, but if you don't have the resources to take care of these children, trust me, it will look more like a burden than a blessing. So the first step, or the first thing you need to do, is that you need to make sure that you choose the right partner, because that is going to 100% dictate how you're going to live your life. Because if you get married when you're 25 or 26, you're going to be growing with that particular partner. So it's super important. And do not, I repeat, do not give birth or do not bring a child to this world out of wedlock. It is always 100% a bad idea. It might look old-fashioned, that you might be, oh guy, you're old school and all that, yeah. Because in old school, guys are the ones that have wisdom. Look at what's happening right now. A lot of people who are new school are just doing anything they please, and most of them have nothing to write home about and no achievement. So that's number one. Now, number two is that in your early ages of between, like, let's say 15 to 20, 25, those 10 years, you need to build or get as many high income skills as possible. Now, I understand that you've watched a lot of self-help videos telling you to always focus on one particular thing, trying to tell you to put your head in one particular place. The truth is that some high income skills that you're going to get complement other high income skills. Now, let me give you a typical example. When I got exposed to the make money online space was through forex trading. A friend of mine back then in secondary school, I think in about 2014 or high school, however you call it, he was into forex trading. He had a very super rich dad and all that, and he could fund all his trading accounts, but he could teach me. He told me that, oh, this thing pays and all that. So I've always had that belief. Because of that encounter, I learned forex trading from him, but I could not really profit from forex trading in any real kind of way. Then after some time, I got into CPA marketing. Now, CPA marketing is you partner with different companies and making money. And I've been able to make like $10,000, $20,000, $10,000 every single month from CPA marketing since when I started CPA marketing like 3 years ago. But the part of CPA marketing that pays the highest, it's when you promote companies around finance. That's betting companies, forex companies, and companies that just deal with finance, investments. And remember, I told you that I had already learned forex in 2016, but I discovered CPA marketing in like 2020, 2021 beginning. So the knowledge I had with forex trading helped me to be able to easily partner with most of the forex companies that I'm promoting currently. They now pay me $20,000 to $30,000. And along the way in school, I also learned graphic design, and I also learned how to build websites. So all these skills compounded to help me move faster than everybody else that learned the same business I learned. So you need to be able to have or let me call it an armory of skills, where you have so much skills that you can literally jump into any industry and succeed. Now, these high income skills I'm talking about are the high income basic skills. They are skills that almost each and every business cannot do without. I'm talking about skills like design. I'm talking about skills like marketing. I'm talking about skills like branding. All these skills are skills that you will always find no matter the business you enter into. So it was easier for me because I learned all these things. It was easier for me to enter into all these markets and make a lot of money for myself. And of course, right now, I have other businesses I run just because of the little skills like design, marketing, and forex trading that I learned when I was younger. Forex trading gave me the base knowledge to understand how to invest, to understand patience. So you need to gather as many high income skills, or let me put it this way, you need to gather as many high basic income skills as possible in your early stages. Because in your early stages, you are not taking so much risk. You don't have anything to lose. You don't have to make money immediately, except probably maybe you're like from a terrible background, which happens to like the best of us, which is 100% normal. But if you don't have to like make money, you can eat right now, you can go to school, you can do everything you want to do. Try to gather as many skills as possible. You can actually be happy doing a lot of things. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you have that general knowledge is always going to compound in the future. The third thing you need to start doing if you want to make a lot of money in your 30s, in your 40s, and your 50s is that you need to start investing early. Now, when it comes to investment, a lot of people don't look at it long term. Investment is all about long term. And most good investments are calculated like yearly. So if you're going to be having a 30% return on your investment every single year, for you to make 150% is going to take like 5 years. So it's super important to understand that investment is a game of time. And the earlier you start investing, the better it is for you. But I will still encourage you to make sure that you get the most experience of life in your 20s. I don't expect you to be riding or to go and be bungee jumping when you're 70. Your bones are going to break. But now is the time where you can enjoy life. But as you're enjoying life, you need to find a balance. Super important. Find a balance. Invest and also experience life in your 20s. It is super important. Now, number 4 is that you need to network with the right people, because your network is going to take you very far, to be honest. Find people that have the same goals with you and network with them. Move in that direction that they are moving. People that have the growth mindset, people that can influence you positively. Network with all those people as much as possible is always going to help you. Number 5, you need to learn how to manage money. Now, I used to tell people this thing every single day, but not everybody listens. Making money is easier than managing money. It is super important. And that's why they said, to him little is given, much will be given unto. So if you can manage the little you have right now, you can manage it when there is a lot, because it's literally the same thing. 10% now might not look like a lot, but 10% of $100 million is a lot. So the little you have now, you need to learn how to manage it, learn how to allocate things to where it should be doing, where it should be going. It's super important. So learn how to manage money, because your money management skills is always going to save you. You need to understand budgeting. You need to understand how to allocate money. You need to understand how to do taxes. All these things are like advanced stuff, but you just have to put it in your mind out, man, these are things I need to learn in my 20s if I want to really make it in my 30s and in my 40s and in my 50s. Now, number 6 is that you need to prioritize your health, because like I said, you need to take care of yourself every single day. You need to gym, you need to exercise, you need to watch what you eat. There's a saying that says that eat food as medicine, so that in the future you won't eat medicine as food. I think that's a saying from Steve Jobs, the guy that died, the former owner of Apple. He said this thing before he died. He had cancer, right? So it's super important that you take all these things into consideration in early, because most of all these signs, most of all these symptoms, most of all these sicknesses, they will never show till when you get to your 30s, when it's actually time for you to now start enjoying the fruit of your labor. It's now time for you to start enjoying the result of all the work you put in your 20s. Then one sickness is now going to end your life prematurely. No, that's not what you want for yourself. So it is super important that you prioritize your health every single time. Now, number 7 is that you need to make learning and reading a habit. Most people think that once you leave college or once you leave high school, that's where learning ends. No. For you to continually grow in your business, you need to be learning every single day. Because the truth is that nothing is constant in the world. There's always a new way. In fact, there's a basic way everything is done, but there's a new method to do every single thing every single time. So when you understand this, you know that there's always going to be a new method. There's always going to be something new that you have to learn. There's always going to be a new way to approach a problem that's always been there every single time. So you need to always be open to learning. You need to always be open to basically everything around business. Always be open to learning. Read every day, study every day is super important. I do read every single day. Number 8 is that you need to get comfortable with taking risks. Like, you're young. You are young. You don't have children. That takes us back to my first rule. You don't have children. You don't have a lot of responsibilities. This is the time you need to like risk that little you have to make more. Don't withhold the $500, the $200 that is supposed to be invested in you to help you make $100,000. This is the time you have to take as much risk as possible, because the risk is not heavy. If you had 3 children with a wife, you know that once you're taking risks on behalf of 5 people. It's harder to make decisions then, because you're doing a lot of emotional thinking that particular period. So now is the time where you can take as much risk as possible without having a lot of consequences around the risk. Number 9 is that you need to take care of your soul. Now, everything that you feed your mind has to be intentional. The kind of content you take online, the kind of people you speak to, the kind of advice you receive, the kind of words you honor. take care of what goes into your mind. Because once you get to the ages of 25, there's a very high chance that you cannot change anymore. It's very easy to talk to a child of 5 years old and tell him, okay, this is the way the world works, and he says, okay. But somebody that's in 25 has a concrete memory of how he thinks the world should work. That's why it's super hard to advise somebody that is above 25, above 30, and the person takes the advice immediately. Most times, people who are older need a traumatic experience in order for change to be triggered in their brain. This is because a lot of things that they have experienced in their childhood has formed who they are and how they perceive the world and how they think the world should be. So you need to make sure that you take care of your mind. You need to make sure you take care of your soul. You need to make sure that you wire it properly before you get to the point where you cannot wire it anymore. Before you get to the point where you need a traumatic experience to help you change a small habit you would have changed easily in your teens or when you were 20 or 30 or before 30. That's how the world works. And number 10, you need to control your spending. You need to save like you're broke. Now, the reason why I say save like you're broke is because, remember, I'm in support of you enjoying your life when you're in your 20s, okay? But then again, in your 20s is when you have to take the most risks. And how do you take risks? You take risks by finding opportunities. And how do you take on opportunities? It's cash. So there are going to be a lot of opportunities that are going to come by you, and just simply because you don't have enough cash, you could not take on those opportunities. And it could be that one of those opportunities is the opportunities that would set you up for life. So it's super important that you have a kind of savings every single time. This savings will just specifically be to take up on opportunities. It is super important. And you don't want to live a lifestyle that you cannot sustain. Because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They try to, who are you impressing? Nobody. Now, I'm going to give you one more bonus one. The bonus one is that don't settle for a career, settle for a vision. Whatever career you're doing right now is a business in some kind of way. Let me give you an example. If you're a computer engineer and you have a career around computer engineering, you're going to be employed by somebody who has a business around computer engineering. And whether you like it or not, the person who has a business around computer engineering is the person who makes the most money. So if you want to get to the level of wealth and sustainability, you need to think about at what point is my career going to turn into a business. So you doing a 9 to 5 is not bad, but you wanting to kill yourself in that 9 to 5 is the bad thing there. So you need to have a long-term vision of, okay, I want to gather my skills. I want to get to a particular level where my skill set can now permit me to create a business around what I'm doing. Some of the richest doctors in the world are not the doctors that I employ, but the doctors that own hospitals. Do you get what I'm saying? But those guys, you won't find them on the Forbes list and all that, because of course entrepreneurs make their money in different ways. So they might not appear as the highest paid doctors, because at that point they are now business owner doctors, not professional doctors anymore. Because they're still professionals, but just professionals who own businesses. So no matter the career it is that you're going on right now, right, you can always switch to the business part and actually get wealth. Because at the end of the day, that's the reason why you are trying to make a lot of money for yourself, to build wealth. So those are 10 ways or 10 things you need to make sure you do before you're 30 if you want to make sure that you make a lot of money online.